West Ham have sacked Graham Potter. This morning it was announced that West Ham had in fact gotten rid of their head coach Graham Potter only 2 days before their game against Everton on Monday. This has been a big surprise, not only for me but for several fans I've seen online, and also the players who did come out and say that they backed the manager only a few days ago, and this has clearly come out of the blue. The players are shocked. They've apparently received the news this morning, and I'm not sure if it's the right move just before 2 games before Everton. I'm not sure who is going to be in charge then, if it's going to be an interim manager or if they're going to have time to get in a manager. But currently the favourites are either Nuno Espirito Santos, who did get sacked by Nottingham Forest in September after falling out with the owner, Evangelos Marinakis. There's also been talks of Slaven Bilic returning to the London Stadium, of course being the manager of West Ham during a stint in 2015-2016 season where Dimitri Payet was playing unbelievable, and he was in charge of that squad and the last ever season at the Bowling Ground. So there has been rumours he could come back and bring some of the old boys back into his backroom staff, such as Collins, Mark Noble, etc. But it'll be interesting to see who West Ham get. I'm hoping it is, I hope it is Nuno Espirito Santos. I think he's quite good. I think Nottingham Forest were stupid to let him go, quite frankly. And I think it was a big mistake. Obviously, he fell out with the owner, and they're now stuck with Ange Postecoglou, who isn't a bad manager, but he is just not exactly what you want. He obviously plays very high risk, high reward style of football, and so far this season they've been, I'd say, lacklustre. But anyway, Graham Potter was in charge of the first 5 games for West Ham this season, and of course only coming away with the 3 points against Nottingham Forest, funnily enough, as well. Graham Potter's obviously been in the limelight quite a lot the last few days and weeks. Trends on social media such as Twitter, face swapping was brought up in a press conference yesterday, which he sort of played off. But Graham Potter has been in charge since January now, and results just have not been good enough. Especially this season, we thought it might be a new beginning, giving Graham Potter the summer. Did well in pre-season, and then as soon as the season started, we capitulated pretty much, losing 3-0 to Sunderland in the opening game, then 5-1 to Chelsea, and so on and so forth. And there are rumours that he's fallen out with Aaron Wan-Bissaka, who's been out the last few weeks due to illness. It just sounds a little bit dodgy, I think, and I'm not sure if we quite know the full story. Obviously, the board have made this decision without currently having a backup manager in place, so it would either be an interim manager, or if we get Nuno done by today or Bilic by today, then of course I think they'll have time to be in the dugout on Monday against David Moyes, Everton's side, who are doing quite well this season as well, so a very tough game. But at first, obviously, I was under the impression that Sullivan said that basically Everton and Arsenal were realistically not winnable games, and he was going to give Potter those 2 weeks, those 2 fixtures, and then as the international break would come, then he would get rid of him and look for a new manager. He's obviously clearly lost his patience. I don't know if anything's happened in behind the scenes or not, but either way, this is quite big news for West Ham fans. It did come a little bit out of the blue, I must admit. Like, if it happened during the international break, I would have probably seen it coming, but now on a normal Saturday morning Premier League weekend playing on Monday, I just did not see it coming, to be honest. I do think Graham Potter will now struggle to find another job. He's been lacklustre in both Chelsea and West Ham, which are 2 big roles. Yes, he did very well at Brighton, Swansea and Östersund in Sweden, but once again these are teams that don't have as high expectations as West Ham and Chelsea do. So I definitely will see him struggling to get another job, if he does want to get another job. You'd have to take into consideration he was out of the job for about a year and a half before he came to West Ham. I don't know if that really makes a difference at all. But he's been at West Ham, for now, 9 months, I think, because he came in January, and results just haven't improved. So I would say it's the right decision, because considering how poor we've been this season, especially with someone like Nuno Espirito Santos, who is ready and available, I would definitely be going for him as a West Ham fan and someone who watches football as well. And it's worth noting as well, I did not think Potter handled himself amazing in his press conferences. I always thought he was very honest, but a bit too blunt, a bit too honest, and obviously after a few games where he lost, you can definitely tell he was hot-headed and didn't quite say the right things as well. But obviously, journalists are going to ask whatever they want, and he didn't do badly, I guess, in answering those questions, but he was being very honest. And the squad is now looking alright, but with hopefully Nuno Espirito Santos, he can get the best out of some of the players, such as Somerville, Matheus Fernandes. We've got some nice young players who we've signed, and I do think Everton will be a write-off, but it doesn't really matter too much. We just want to hope that we are not in a relegation scrap all season, basically, because that is so boring as a West Ham fan, and we're a big club. We should not be going down. We should not be going down at all. That's been all for the video. Thank you very much for watching. If you want to see any more videos about this style of content, then let me know. Check out the playlist and video YouTube thinks you will like. And who do you think will become the new manager of West Ham? Put it in the comments. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.